Hello, music lovers. Oh my goodness, it has been such a year. Definitely a good year from a harp perspective. Whoops, just dropped something. Okay, before we start in on all of the fun things of 2023, I thought I would go back and review top 10 harp experiences of 2022. I am not currently in my normal studio. You can tell I am actually completely redoing my studio, which will definitely be on my top 10 for next year. Phone, I'm going to go back and look through some of my pictures. How did I remember anything before phones? Seriously. Going to look back and remember, it's worth doing this, right? It's worth doing this. Okay, top 10. In January, I got to play harp in a castle. Like an actual castle. Not in Europe, in America. Near Colorado Springs, there's a mansion built like a castle. As a professional harpist, I get to explore a lot of interesting places and venues, playing for weddings and beautiful old mansions and antique hotels. But this was an actual castle, and all out of Colorado red stone. Oh, so beautiful. Whew. Number 2, not for pleasant, but definitely memorable. I drilled a hole in my harp. I was installing a pickup in my small harp arena. I've installed pickups on my other 2 harps, and I've always used like external attachments to clip the plug-in part onto the body of the harp so that I did not have to drill it. But this baby harp is too small to use those external options. Freaking out, taking a drill to this several $1,000s worth of beautiful instrument, not to mention it's my baby. I did it, and it sounds amazing. Oh, so at the beginning of this year, I got to play with an exquisite choir. Oh, the clock's striking in the middle of my video. Not quite midnight yet. So this local precision a cappella choir, the Vesper Chorale, is one of the musical riches in our area. When I was in high school, maybe 15 or 16, my father took me to one of their concerts, just so inspired by this group. Well, this year they called me to play with them in concert. I also play with our local symphony. I play with the Elkhart Symphony out of Elkhart, Indiana. We had 2 really cool concerts this year. We collaborated with a local rock band. So we had the full symphony, and then we had like a indie rock band with a drum kit and a trumpet section. The second I didn't actually have to take part in, but I loved. The symphony performed Beethoven's Ninth with full choir. There's no harp part. Beethoven didn't write anything for harp. I got to actually go to a concert instead of playing in one, and I just sat and wept during Ode to Joy because, it was great. Number 5, this actually happened just this week. Almost a decade ago, I made my first CD and I went in for my first in-studio photo shoot. Almost 10 years later, I went back to my photographer and had another photo shoot, in-studio photo shoot. And my photographer is so good. I am so excited for you guys to see the pictures. They haven't come out yet because we just did it this week. I have a video on that coming out soon. Ooh, so I've gotten to do some really fun collabs, and let's see, we're counting up, so this would be number 4, was definitely recording with Season of the Outlaw. Some of my childhood friends grew up to be amazing musicians. Season of the Outlaw is this really sweet indie rock. He does all of his own stuff, but he actually asked me to do one collaboration with him for a Christmas thing. It was sort of a last minute, can you come in and record some harp parts over Feliz Navidad? I want to do this moody minor version. And I'm like, I am there. Popped in, recorded it in an evening, filmed the video for it at the same time. I'll link it down below because it is so cool. And definitely check out Season of the Outlaw. Thank you so much for collabing with me. So number 3, I go up to our local Irish pub, and there in front of the fireplace are just a bunch of musicians sitting around. Mandolin, violin, banjo, tin whistle players, bowron players, and we just jammed. So I've started going to a local Celtic music jam. All my life, I've grown up as a solo performer. 90% of my gigs are solo. I love being an almost all-sufficient instrument in the harp. But man, there is an amazing energy about a group of people just jumping in without music and just going for it. Also, give you free drinks, which in my case is mostly tea, but hey. And I have some fun collaborations with them coming up in the new year. Stay tuned for that as well. I think this might end up being 11. After I installed a pickup in this small harp, I went to a guitar store. The nice salesperson said, "Do you need any help?" I'm like, "Can I try some effects pedals?" So they got me to special room and I took my harp in there. We plugged in the amplifiers and the sales guy kept running back and forth, bringing me reverbs and distortion and delay and overdrive. And it sounds so magical. And I got a pedal, couple pedals, got a compression pedal with a little distortion on it. If you haven't seen my video on the pedals I got, I'll link that here. One of my goals for 2023 is to get really good with working with my pedal board because it's very new to me and it's like learning a whole new instrument. Just a couple weeks ago, I made a video on harp hands, the secret behind harp hands. I've been thinking about making videos like this for a while and it sort of clicked, sort of cut loose and let myself do all of the goofy humor that I often put into a performance. And it was so freeing and fun. I'm really excited about the direction that video took and the responses. Thank you guys so much for your comments on it and look forward to more nuttiness in the future. Okay, this was definitely one of the most incredible experiences of the year, playing harp on a train. One of my best friends from childhood was getting married in Utah. I put my smallest Harpsicle in a very sturdy case and jumped on an Amtrak train. I had these amazing experiences playing in mountains, but the most surprising thing for me was actually playing on the train. They have these observation cars that are all glass so you can see out the beautiful mountain vistas. Sort of a communal car with bench seating and people come and sit and chat and eat. Very friendly atmosphere. After dark, there was this call that went out for anyone who has an instrument to bring it to the observation car and we're gonna have a jam session. So we brought the harp out and there was someone with a guitar and for about 3 hours, we just sat and played every train song we could think of, old rock and roll, some folk, some country, just made music as the lights flitted by on either side of the train tracks. I finally get where all of those train songs come from. Number 1, harp experience of this year. I bought a new harp! So this is Rena, this beautiful small harp. I found her on Facebook in a group I never really go into and I clicked through and there was this, I'm selling this harp. So I drove all the way out to Pennsylvania and met this amazing harpist who was passing this one along on its harp journey. She still has 9 harps. I have some catching up to do. It's a 25 string Triplett Christina travel harp. I put a beautiful Dusty Strings pickup in it. That was that other event. So that I can travel around and play all sorts of events on this small but gorgeous sounding harp. I named her Rena from the Jewish word to shout for joy, because I just want to shout for joy every time I play her. With Rena, I was able to make some new videos and sheet music for small harp, which you can check out links below. Some new things in 2023, there'll be new videos, a new studio, I have some new arrangements and sheet music coming in. But right now, I just want to settle in and be so grateful for this amazing 2022.